Invincible.
Season trays.
I sort of want to start with Oh yeah, okay, do the
Did
intro.
it, did it, did it, did it, did it, did it. Invincible. Flash, flash, flash with screen flash. I gotta throw that in there in post editing. I gotta throw the invincible flash thing that they keep doing.
They had that nigga Powerplex. That shit was funny when Powerplex was going off and they just kept doing the Invincible. They did that shit like 7
Somebody
times.
said that that was like a foreshadowing of the Invincible War, and if that is actually accurate, that's actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's
Oh,
why he
that
was
was
showing
that.
us so much instead of just one time.
That happened prior to it. That happened prior to it. Then yeah, that would be pretty. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Powerplex is definitely before because Powerplex actually bodies one of the marks.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised he didn't body like all of them the way he was acting.
He got arrested. He got arrested after bodying the mark he bodied.
Well, the thing is, he tried to fight the wrong mark. You know what I'm saying? The nigga tried to fight the wrong mark.
Well, I mean, no, I'm gonna counter that because remember he hates Mark because he finds Mark guilty of being a bad guy, and yes, he's aimed toward our Mark, but the actual bad guy marks are the other marks. So is he really wrong?
That's true. I mean, but at the time when he attacked though, he attacked
His
the only
anger was
nigga.
fueled towards somebody else, but like
You
that's
feel
where
me?
that energy should have been directed is the person that he actually killed. So that's why I'm like, eh.
I want to start it off with I think Mark is a bitch in this season. I want to start that off.
Damn.
I think Mark is a whole Mark in this season.
Well,
Like
how would
real
you be?
talk.
How would you feel in his shoes? Let me ask you that.
I will be going through a lot. I would be going through a lot. I would feel like
Would you be a Mark in this situation?
I don't think so. I don't. All right, let me tell you why though. Right, let me tell you why. So let's go back to what I
And you got to remember, this kid's only like 17, 18. He's not like a fully grown person yet either. So
That's true. Well, he's in college, so he's in college. He's a college dropout. So let's give him 20, 19, 20. I mean,
ooh, bad
not much of a
maturity
difference,
boost right
but still,
there.
not much of a difference, but still, you know what I mean.
But let's rock.
So let's see. If I was Mark, I feel like I would handle this not in the emotional way he handled it, and I'm specifically talking about the shit with Cecil. I feel like that started him like when he found out that Darkwing and I think his name is Langstrom was now on Cecil's side, like reformed bad guys into new heroes.
No, it's a different person because Angstrom is the dude he kills at the end of last
Okay,
season.
so not Langstrom, yeah,
Yeah, I
my
forget
fault.
the other
Not,
dude's name, and he's also reanimating them other things that are pretty dangerous. The ones that actually
right,
destroy
yeah.
marks and shit like that.
Now that right there is a little crazy. I get that, but I feel like his reaction. I feel like it. I feel like his reaction is crazy. I feel like his reaction was why did he attack Cecil in the white room? One, I understand Cecil broke him like kind of lured him to the white room, and then he had those things like pop out at him. So that would have kind of got me tight too, like nigga, like what the fuck going on here? But I feel like him just ripping and running through them for like 3 episodes. After that, like the nigga kept coming back. He kept coming back to the Pentagon, acting like on some bitch shit, wanting answers, not really getting no answers. I just felt like his whole attitude, this whole season is a little emotional,
Well,
and
I mean,
I'm not.
I feel like if you
No.
go off of what happened in season two, I'm not going to go into the exact details, but Mark is going through a lot, and the one person he felt like he could trust that wasn't another hero and was close to his family proved him that he couldn't trust him, and I feel like that's why he reacts like that to Cecil. Because I also at first thought Mark was in the right in a sense, but then as time goes on, I'm like Cecil is kind of right, but Cecil handles it like a douchebag, and for somebody who's Mark's age, I can see why they react so aggressively toward him. One, I can rip your fucking head off and you don't like include me in nothing. You just kind of like manipulate your way into everything.
Bro,
So
implant is very necessary.
yeah, I get it. He's got contingency plans. But like
Like that shit. That's like Batman.
But like, think
Batman's not
about it.
having
You'd feel the same way if you woke up one day and were like, "Wait, you did what to me?" Like,
facts, facts, facts,
especially
facts,
at that
facts.
age, you're not like a 30-year-old who like has experienced the world and how fucked up it can really be. You're trying to figure out like, is the world, because Mark's at the point where he's trying to figure out, is the world really fucked up? He's got like contradicting, I guess, ideals at this point. Like in Oliver, I feel like is the spot in the show that kind of brings that out. That Mark is not too sure where he really like how he really feels about this whole situation.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. Like as far as like Oliver, you know, being that indifference and stuff like that, because he got a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Like he got a lot to deal with, and then like especially the episode where he's talking to Oliver, and he's like, "Yeah, when you get your powers," and Oliver's like, "Hey, bitch, I got my powers already." You feel what I'm trying to say? Like it's like a responsibility that he's feeling right now. I get that. He's telling Cecil don't come near the family and everything. You know, like it's like I get what I get what his emotions is towards. Like I get it. I just still feel like I guess after all that shit where he went through his pops and shit like that, and then meeting his pops again in season 2 on another Earth, and then going through all that, I feel like he should be a little tougher. Like honestly, I feel like he should be on some Viltrumite shit. Like at least his attitude. I feel like his attitude should be on some. After getting his ass whooped by the Viltrumites by like what? It's about like the third time by then. Like you know what I mean? Like the woman did him dirty at the end of season 2. Like I just feel like he should be on some tough shit, and he's not. He's more on the emotional side. You know what I mean?
Um,
Then I'm like,
I don't know if
I
I
don't know.
agree with that fully. Cause there's parts that you said that I want to agree with, but then I also know that Mark is like a darker Spider-Man story because his story is very similar to Peter Parker in a lot of senses. And somebody
Think so?
pointed out, yeah, man, like think about a teen trying to find his way in the world, doesn't really know if he's doing the right thing a lot of times and stuff like that. That's very Peter Parker-ish. And one of the bigger moments for Oliver that's not what you pointed out is the point where he was like, why should I care about humans? Like they aren't even gonna last as long. He basically spits the same stuff out that his dad spit out at him. And it like that shows him that like the Viltrumite way ain't really the way, because think about it, if he handled things like a Viltrumite, the reason why Powerplex is on his ass would happen many more times. The thing that Conquest does to the whole world, basically, and Angstrom and Conquest do to the world, would happen many more times, and not because of other people, but at the hands of Mark. If he was just tearing people to fuck up like a Viltrumite would.
But let me give you this though. Let me counter this with the Powerplex shit, right? What Powerplex family had died, his wife and his son had died in that moment if Mark would have just ripped his head off.
No, true. In that exact moment, but those are like select moments where that would have been the right thing to do. Because I also
Now
was
I
like,
get
Mark,
what you're
body this
saying though.
motherfucker. But he was
Yeah,
also
I
trying
get
to
what you're
prove the
saying though. I don't.
he was trying to
You
prove
right
to
about
Powerplex
that
that he's
Oliver.
not like that.
That Oliver point was a good point. Yeah, you're right. He's not like that. You're right. He's not like that. But that Oliver point was a good point you hit when you said the whole comparison about the Viltrumite way to his way about how we gonna handle these humans, how we gonna handle the humans and all that. How we gonna handle anybody? Because Viltrumite is not only the humans, they going over the galaxy and they doing that shit.
And
You
look
know
at
what I
where
mean?
his
So
mind is at the end of the season. He's like, yo, nah, you right, Oliver. Like, whoever threatens my family is getting fucked the hell up.
he did end it on that note. You're right. He did end it on that note. Is that the end of the season? That's the
Yeah,
end of the season.
that's basically the final episode after the whole Conquest thing and all that. He's in the Angstrom fight at the end in the last episode. He's like, if anybody threatens my family again, I'm gonna kill him.
Yo, that's fucking nuts, y'all. You know what's crazy? I know y'all seen it, and I've seen it. I've seen all 8 episodes, but I really was thinking like just like more episodes was coming. Like, so we get another season though. We definitely get another season. I thought this was the final season. That's crazy. Honestly, I don't know what I'm watching that I'm thinking it was the final season. I thought this shit was the final season. So I'm thinking, all right, this shit going to go on to like another like 12, 16 episodes. But all right, bet. Cool. All right, that's good. Not expert here. You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, I feel you. I feel what you mean. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. I kind of get the point you're saying about, why he can't be that, that person. You know what I mean? Because it's not him. But I think it's interesting to see where he gonna take it though. Where you think he gonna take it? Ended it on that note, like nigga, like
I
yeah,
think it
nigga.
is gonna
Anybody,
get
anybody?
dark for Mark at some point because a lot of people, and I guess even the writer himself or someone or the suit designer, the all black with the blue with the no yellow on the suit is meant to be like his symbiote suit for the Spider-Man. where he is darker, where he is struggling with who he is as a person, and if what he's doing is right and wrong. So that's to symbolize that Mark is going down a dark path. And this was a whole season of Mark being tested over and over and over again and questioning his own self. And I think now that he said to Oliver, like, if I feel like my family's threatened, I'm just ripping shit up. You might see that Mark that you're looking for. And then we'll get the answer if that really is the answer for how he should act. So that's how I feel
You
about
think the
that.
other one's gonna? You think the other one's gonna make appearance again?
I already know they're gonna make appearance. Facebook don't let people like not know the future if the story's already out there.
Oh, don't send me that link. I ain't see them links, man.
We're
I
gonna
ain't see
see
them
them
links.
again, but I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, there's gonna be less of them when we see them again.
They probably done killed each other off.
I ain't
Tell you the
saying shit.
truth. They
I
probably.
ain't saying shit to you after that. That's what I'll give you without spoilers.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Them killing each other off because the way they was already, interacting. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how this is even coexisting right now.
Because actually,
Like,
if you really want to say it, if you want Mark to be that guy, then he'd be one of them. He'd be everything that he's trying not to be throughout the show.
Yeah, I guess it was cool to. I guess it was cool to see the alternate versions of them. They were all like dickheads.
You know what was a cool
Most
storyline? The twins that came back and got him and brought him to the future, and Immortal was like the king because Mark left.
that was a very cool storyline. Yeah, you're right. That was cool. That was
Mm-hmm.
cool. I like that. I like that.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of this season was tug of war for Mark. Is like a lot of stuff that got put into perspective that his little ass brain, well, not only say little ass brain, but his immature brain doesn't really know how to take that stuff. He's like,
I would like to have seen that Mark that left Immortal. I would
I
like
think
to
we're
have
gonna get some
seen
time
him.
paradox type shit, and that's probably why we didn't see that Mark, because he probably is jumping from past to future a lot more as the stuff goes on. I started reading the comics. I didn't really get too far, but I'm pretty much gonna read past where the show is at, and I'm gonna know the story before it gets there. I'm pretty sure they're gonna change a lot of stuff just so the show feels like its own thing. But apparently,
Yeah.
majority of this, I guess until the end, this is basically kind of a pretty accurate depiction of what the comic is doing, and it kind of started veering off. So I'm interested to see what season 4 has for us.
Yeah, where the fuck Darkwing go?
Well, see, you might have
I
to go
mean,
back and watch the original episode for him because that's his power. He has like a dark void he can go to, and
yeah, no, I know. I'm saying he usually pops back out.
the Mark probably fucking killed him in the void. Like, Darkwing
That's his
ain't like
next.
that. Whatever his name is, Dark whatever. He ain't like that, my boy. Like he ain't on no Mark's level. So like he basically sacrificed himself to save all of them in there.
Yeah, all right. I thought I'm saying he
If
usually
he come
pops back
back,
out.
yo,
So I
if
was
he comes
wondering.
back, kudos to him. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of the Marks
Like,
died in
yo,
ways that
that
I was
nigga
not
crazy.
ready for. I was like, what? These niggas is losing to this.
I'm about to say, if we talking about this shit, season 4, he coming back. We gonna rewind this episode. Be like, yo, he ain't had no faith in you,
Nah,
Darkwing.
I don't. I don't. He is because he's basically the Batman of that world. And if you think about it, the Batman is literally just a human, no
Yeah,
superpowers.
yeah, yeah.
He just got a
He just
void.
got some dark shadow powers there.
Yeah.
My nigga got the power. My nigga from Static Shock.
So yeah. Let me think. What else was going on in this season? I
Yo,
did
Rex
like
dying was crazy.
which one?
Rex Explode dying. I ain't like that, man.
Okay,
That
cool.
was
Let's talk
crazy.
about how some of these marks die.
That was crazy.
This obviously. So one, I'll start off with Angstrom is so diluted, and I get it that he's a man who's like just polluted by all the minds of the other Angstroms that he got combined with at one point that hate marks. But I don't really get the whole idea that if there's one Mark who is like trying his hardest not to be like all the other Marks that conquer Earth and shit like that in different universes, how do you figure recruiting the bad guy Marks to fight the good guy Mark makes sense? Like, I don't get that.
He kept promising everybody. I don't know. His plan was to promise everybody shit. And he knew at some point they were going to betray him because he was like, "Oh, I thought they was going to betray me later." And I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. None of it made sense to me, honestly. You're right. I don't know why that made sense. It didn't make sense.
Yeah,
It
at the
didn't
end of
make
the
sense.
day, he was just satisfied with making Mark's life a shitty day, giving a shitty day to Mark's life, and he accomplished that for sure. Definitely did that much. They was fucking him. They
Like,
was fucking him in that city up. And then he had to deal with a motherfucker like Conquest. And that was cool
That
too.
was
Because Jeffrey Dean Morgan voices Mark, and Stephen Yoon voices Mark. Wait, I said Jeffrey Dean Morgan voices Mark. I meant Conquest. And Stephen Yoon voices Mark. And they're actually Negan and Glenn in The Walking Dead. So it's basically a rematch of something that happened in The Walking Dead. Yeah, that was
it's
pretty
interesting.
talked about and stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah, Angstrom
Yeah,
is
you know what? That whole smack he did to Oliver was crazy, bro.
yo. When Oliver got up, thought he was about to fight and then spit out all his teeth and blood. I was like, when he was
I said,
stretching
oh,
that boy, he helped that boy go through puberty a little early, didn't he?
he was going to die. I ain't going to front. I'm like, oh, it's over for Ollie.
And then Mark got up, seen that. But you see, like Mark gets up and he saw his brother getting pulled like that, and what he do? He blacked. He blacked. Like the moment when he's headbutting Conquest, to me, that's similar to the Spider-Man getting ready to kill Green Goblin, like in No Way Home. But there's
Yeah.
no other Peter to stop him and hold him from being that person.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of get that because it was definitely no control in that moment. Like he was ready to just give it all. I'm gonna fucking body this nigga for what I'm saying, nigga, and bothering my brother. He didn't get at Shorty at that time. That fight between him and Eve.
What you mean? The headbutt thing happened after that, after Eve, like after Eve got her shit rocked.
That's when the headbutt happened. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I
saw
didn't
Eve get her shit rocked
understand.
and
That's
he
yeah. Okay,
snapped.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, nah, okay, okay. Now get my fault. I thought that was
you
when
think he
he
just did
had.
that because he was like, I gotta save the earth?
I thought that's when he. I thought that's when he hit Oliver. I thought he was that's when he was stretching Oliver. So I thought that's when he got up and started like he must have got and started
Nah, that
headbutting him
when he
somehow. But
finished
you're
the
right.
conquest is when
No, no,
Eve
no,
got in
yeah.
there and got clapped the fuck up. Because that's when they started.
Yo,
That's when Conquest did the whole thing that Nolan did to him, but instead of doing it on a train or a bus, he did it to like half the earth.
yeah, 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 yep. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yo, the way he took out Eve, half her face,
Slapped that motherfucker
bro,
jaw off and then put a hole in her stomach. I was like,
bro. I said, damn, not Eve.
yo, and I had
I
not seen her
said,
special episode because there's an episode between season 1 and 2 that's just about Adam Eve.
oh yeah, yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
And I did not know about that power up that she had. So my jaw
yeah.
extra dropped when she got back up with the Phoenix Force and shit.
I saw that. I saw that. So I wasn't too surprised. I was just more so. I thought that it. I thought it happens when like she's in like this mortal danger. I didn't think it happens when she's
It is mortal danger.
like nigga. I thought she was dead, nigga. I ain't not mortal danger. I thought she was dead, nigga. Like I thought she was gone.
Well, I'll say
Like
this: like, we've seen people in worse positions than her still alive. Like, look at Angstrom. My boy's head was squishy, ishy on the floor.
man, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Yo,
Come
his
on,
face with all from here up was squishy,
come
ishy.
on. Come on. Talking about some fix it. Fix what? Fix fucking what? Like what? Like what are you talking? That shit was crazy. I ain't even going front. That shit was wild. I'm like, I'm just looking at his face on the floor. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he's alive. Like the brain, like it, I don't know, bro. That shit was crazy.
But that's
Cartoons.
what I'm saying. Like, this show is a lot. I feel like you just can't expect the typical shit from this show.
Okay, I don't, and I like it. I like it for the unexpectedness. I like it. Even though I said, it's very everywhere. Let's talk about that. We didn't talk about that on camera. We talked about that off camera. It's very everywhere. It giving me a lot of different stories. Like let's talk about like the Doc Seismic one. The Doc Seismic one was pretty cool, honestly. I like that one. That was when he brung all them niggas on the ground and shit like that. I thought that was pretty dope.
oh yeah, that's not Moment, right?
Yeah, I think that is like Mo Man. It's
Whatever, same
probably
person. I don't care if it's
something.
not.
Yeah, I
If
think
we're
they call it Doc
wrong,
Seismic, but you called him Mo Man.
guess what? We're not experts. So
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought the fight with the Viltrumites, no, I'm sorry, not the Viltrumites, the other marks was cool. I thought the fight with Langstrom himself was pretty dope. He was throwing all those things at Mark. You know what I mean? That was pretty cool. I mean, wasn't like the best, but it was pretty dope.
I really like
So
seeing the control in Mark's flight pattern during that fight because he doesn't like just fly. He can fly straight ahead, but then like propel himself to the left and shit like that out of nowhere. So I was like, that's kind of cool how because Omni Man explained that to him. Like we don't really like fly. We kind of like just project ourselves through air in certain directions. We can change our direction at
right,
will. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that in action from Mark.
kind of perfected that.
Yeah, I think he was just adrenaline fueled at that point, but like, yeah, he perfected it in that moment. Um,
Right.
but what else did you think was cool?
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, well, that's the fighting. The fighting was definitely like the top notch. The fight between all the guardians of the globe, I think they called.
Oh, when they're getting beat up by that other Mark, and he's having a
No, when
blast.
they're fighting, when they're fighting each other, like before they. Oh, am I thinking of season two? Might be thinking of season
They're
two.
already broken up by this point, I think. Yeah, in season 3, I think they're already broken up. Because
There's another
remember,
fight that.
Mark and Eve have their own business
Oh
and
no,
stuff
I'm
like
talking
that.
about when. I'm talking about when. I'm talking about not the fight with each other. I'm sorry, my fault, y'all. I'm talking about when Cecil was chasing Mark. Remember, he was trying to get him to come back to the thing, come back to the place with him, and he kept everywhere he was going. He was shocking his head, and Mark made it to the Guardians and shit like that. He was trying to get the robot nigga to get that shit out of his brain.
Yeah.
And remember, Cecil broke all the and Rex Blow had that blew up his hand and shit like that. I'm talking about that. That's the fight I was talking about. My fault. Yeah,
Oh
my
yeah,
fault.
yeah, yeah. When the Guardian of the Globe decide to split because one side likes Cecil's ideas and is down with Cecil, and the other one is like, nah, man, you see what they're doing to Mark, bro? Like,
Yeah,
who's to say they
that's
not
what
doing
I'm
that to
talking
us?
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool that happened and all that stuff. Fuck Multi K. I don't know why, just fuck her, bro. Honestly, and her brother, Multi Paul.
Nah, fuck multi Paul. Fuck multi
Yeah, I
Paul.
said
I
Multi
hate.
K. It's duplicate, but Multi Paul. Shang Chi actually, that's the voice actor.
Oh, word.
Yep. There's a lot of voice
Yeah,
actors who are big in this show, honestly.
I ain't gonna lie. I like that dude. I ain't now my fault, but still fuck multi Paul. But
Yeah, yeah. Like Powerplex is the dude from Breaking Bad, Jesse Pinkman. They are always trying to get big
I saw
names for
that.
this show.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think. What was some cool shit that happened? I'm not gonna lie. I did like the Powerplex episode. A lot of people thought it was slow and stupid, but and also like the to the past and all that. Because once again, it's like it's just a struggle for Mark. And like you said, it was all over the place, and I'm like, that's literally Mark's life, bro. It's just all over the place. He can't get a grasp on nothing. He just wants to be like he wants to be a hero, obviously, but like he wants to also live a regular life. And that's another Spider-Man trope is that he wants to be a hero. He wants to live a regular life. He has a hard time balancing it, and his is just amplified because so much extra crazy shit goes on in his world. Like this dude is fighting a dragon at a fucking prison. Like,
That's true. Yeah, yeah. It was some weird shit going on. You're
he
right about
literally
that.
watched his girl get her leg snapped by a variant of himself.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. And you know what? He slammed the shit out of Eve. I kept thinking back, like, why is Eve knocked out like that over this broken bone in her leg? But nah, it was the slam. That nigga slammed the shit out of her. I went back and saw that shit. I said, damn, he fucked Eve up. I wasn't playing.
I'm trying to think what else happened. If there's anything that's really cool with like any of the side characters. Actually, Rex Blode has a really good arc this season where he just like
He
matures the
definitely
hell
does.
up. He's still like a doofus, but you can see the maturity in him that he's getting. Just like he realizes you got to be an adult at some point, my man. Like, at some point,
Yeah.
and I like the whole relationship that he has with I don't remember home chick's name that gets small and shit like that, who does the Ant Man abilities way better than Ant Man.
Yeah, I don't know her name either, but I know what you mean.
It's like Ray, something like that. But
Oh, it is Ray. No, you're right. It's Ray. That's crazy. You said it. It's
yeah,
Ray.
but I forget her like hero name. It's something else. But it has her name involved in it. But I like their arc with the romance, but him ultimately choosing to still be a hero because that's all he's known since a kid. Because he's basically making the decision that Mark can't make.
What's that?
Picking his duty as a hero over a personal life. That's literally what Spider-Man ends up doing most of the time, is picking to be a hero over the stuff that he would really want to do, like have a girlfriend and shit like that, have a family eventually. Like, yeah, there's storylines where that happens, but a lot of times that's difficult for him in the beginning phases of his hero story.
I think the difference is though with Spider-Man, he can do that because his girlfriends don't necessarily always have powers. Or the people in his life that he's like really interacting with don't necessarily always have powers. Whereas Mark, he's surrounded by like a bunch of powered individuals. So remember that episode when Powerplex did was going off, right? And they was at the bowling alley. And the friends looked at him like, nigga, time for you to go. And he
Well, that's because
like,
he's not hiding it from his friends that he's a superhero. That's different than
no, no,
Peter.
no. But my point is, he was what he said though. He said,
Oh, the
"What?
Guardians can
I can
take
take
that.
it. Yeah, he said I can take a night off. I can take a night off. There's other people. Peter Parker ain't doing that shit. Peter Parker can't do that. You know what I'm saying? He can't. Even though he know other heroes are in the city, but Peter Parker not doing that. He not gonna say my
Exactly, but
friend.
that's what I'm saying. Peter Parker makes a choice to sacrifice that side of his life, where Mark is struggling because he's still trying to balance having both of those sides of his life
Yeah, yeah, right. No, I'm trying to say that the choice is kind of taken away from Peter Parker. It's kind of, it's what I'm trying to say. Like he got to protect his normal people more than Mark. You know what I'm saying? Because more Mark peoples are more unnormal, so they can protect them themselves.
But that's why he leaves Amber. Remember that he leaves Amber only because it's unsafe for her. After that Anissa chick killed up and almost yoked her
You
ass
know what
up,
I'm trying to say?
he
Now he
made
like,
that
let me go get
sacrifice.
yeah, that and then he didn't like it. He said, let me go get the power girlfriend, the bitch who can die. What I'm trying to say, she gonna come back to life.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's like, I think he actually likes Eve, but it's almost a settle because it's like what fits into my life, not what I actually want. Because he liked Amber.
It was weird.
He had
They
no
had
problem with
like in
Amber.
the past,
Even though Amber can be a
yeah,
bitch
right.
sometimes, like she's mad naggy, he was into her a lot, and she was into him. Remember, they didn't want to break up. She was sad as hell that they broke up. She just had to move on because what's she gonna do? Be sad? Cry over it every
Yeah,
day of her life?
that's true. That's true. That's true. In the last season, it got a little
Look at how
awkward with
awkward it
that
was
whole.
when they seen each other, even though they're all cool and hanging out. Like it was awkward just them talking until the new boyfriend popped up, and then they started talking about that Doctor Strange magic dog or whatever it is that they be talking about.
Oh, what's the nigga name? I
I
forgot.
don't know.
Damn, I know. Cause every time I see the dog, I be like, this nigga look crazy. So forgot his name. I forgot his name.
I think something is up with Debbie's boyfriend.
Oh, really?
I don't think
Who the
he's
hell's that?
the mom.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
He
Really?
just seems too like.
That nigga probably work for Cecil. He
Wouldn't
probably
be
work for
wouldn't
Cecil.
be surprised. Wouldn't be
He
surprised.
probably work for Cecil.
But yeah, something just seems too like out of whack for me about him, bro. Like he just don't fit in. Like, and Debbie keeps trying to keep him around, and he like, I don't know. He like tries to like. It's almost like he tries to get pity out of Debbie.
He's kind of in recognition of that. Like he's kind of in recognition of that. He doesn't fit in though. Like, 'cause doesn't he say that? Like that's his problem. Like he's
Yeah,
like,
but
yo,
like, bro, she's a human. Like, why are you acting like she's some superhero and you don't fit the bill? Like, you're fine enough. Like, you think she cares about having another superhero boyfriend after Nolan just destroyed half the world a couple years ago?
That's true. That's true. I think 'cause maybe though he just probably feeling like I don't know, bro. Like maybe like it's like I think she had to say it. She was like, "Yo, I'm not looking for you to be a father." So it's like when niggas get in that position, they always think like on some stepdaddy shit, and he like nigga, both these niggas could kick my ass or like kick anybody ass. So what am I even doing here? So she had to tell the nigga that like nigga, you not no stepdaddy. Like that's not your position. Slow down.
The only
Just
thing
be
I
that
could think for
secret.
him that is like realistic for him is like, yo, I just hope Nolan don't come back because if he feels the type of way, who's gonna stop me? That's about the only thing he should be scared of. Because like if Mark and Oliver like him, like they not gonna tear you up, bro. As long as you ain't putting hands on their mama, like right.
Yeah.
So
And it's crazy because he ended the season 2 with "I think I miss my wife."
That was
So nigga
that
going.
was last season.
That's what I'm saying. He ended that season where "I think I miss my wife." So in this season, if he come back on some "I think I miss my wife," nigga, what you think gonna happen? Nigga, you with my wife that I miss? You're with the wife that I'm missing while I'm in Space Jam?
You know, Ablo, man. Not saying anything about that. I ain't gonna say nothing about that because, like I said, the internet likes to ruin things. But what else was going on here, man? Let me go back to Powerplex. Powerplex, yeah, he fucked up because he went too OD with his plan and he was like too hellbent on trying to prove Mark was a bad guy when he really wasn't. But I'm not gonna lie, I blame his his wife, baby mother, whatever it is. I blame her for what happened almost more than what I blame Powerplex for, because she was the
Yeah.
battery in his back. And then when he was ready to give in and just be like, maybe he ain't bad, maybe it's all right, and I failed, he was like, I know I ain't get with no chump. And he just
Antagonizing.
he went on 10.
Antagonizing nigga for real.
Yeah, he just got on 10 after that. As soon as I noticed, because like as soon as she said that, I was like, yo, she's gonna die. Like, I know this is gonna happen now. And then when I
I
seen the
didn't expect the
situation,
baby.
no, when I seen the situation and the baby was there, I was like, no, we're not doing this, are we? And then I was like, it's Invincible. We are doing this. We are doing
Yeah.
this. And then it happened, and like I agreed with you. Like, yeah, I wish Mark would have just offed him. Like, maybe not even offed him, knocked him out something, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's Mark. That almost proves the Powerplex that Mark is in the wrong, and he's trying to prove like I'm not some guy that wants to beat you up, bro. Like I'm not some guy who wants to tear up town. Like if you really think about it, I'm the good guy that's saving y'all. And him just punching him in the face real quick, wanting to prove that to Powerplex.
Nigga, Powerplex basically said, "You the reason why my kid and my wife is dead. So basically, you should have killed me, nigga. And because you didn't kill me, they dead right now. So fuck you. You still a bad guy. It didn't matter how
Yeah, but
Powerplex
that
saw
was
you.
just Powerplex's thing. He just wants to hold and realistically, he's holding Invincible responsible for it because Nolan is nowhere to be found. He's off on some other planet. Like, because if Nolan was around, he'd be blaming Nolan for this. He's just looking for
That's
a
true.
scapegoat because he's mad that his
That's true.
sister and his niece died.
That's very true. That's very true. You right about that.
Yeah, so at the end of the
You
day,
right.
he's just blaming the only one that's still left to be blamed. Uh, like I said, I like the complexity of these Looney Tune characters because like you get where they're coming from. You almost agree with why they're doing what they're doing, but then you're always like, but it's stupid at the end of the day. Like, one, he's invincible. Like, so you're not gonna stop him. But then, I mean, I got proven wrong later on because I'm like, Powerplex can't beat Invincible. And then the Invincible War happens and Powerplex beats an Invincible. So,
Yeah. A lot of them, some of them were weaker than others, but yeah, you right though.
but they're all marks that conquered their Earth. But
Yeah.
yo, and I wonder how weird it had to be for Oliver when he and those 2 3 other heroes were hopping on that other mark. Like that had to be really weird for Oliver. I wonder if like that
I
is a
don't
thing that
think so.
resonates with him.
I don't think so. I really feel like with him, I feel like he's already in recognition of if you are an enemy, I am okay with killing you.
Man, when
So
he
I
dumped
think,
off on the
I think,
Maulers.
yeah, you feel me? You feel me? You feel me? The nigga got rid of that. They were like main characters for like 3 seasons.
Yo, I think they're
Here,
gonna come back.
kill
I'm gonna
them.
call them coming back at some point. They're the Maulers, bro. Like they
I
gotta.
think so. Yeah, yeah, I
There's
think so
probably like
too.
a
But I just
triplet out there just waiting.
first main character is really like all 3 seasons to get bodied. Like boom. But like, yeah, I think Oliver is definitely in recognition of like, nah, you're not my brother. You're enemy of the state. I'm gonna body you.
You know who's like
Uh,
a character that seems unimportant right now, who's like just like encompass story, but I like a lot? Machine Head.
what the fuck is that?
Remember when the jail episode when they fought the dragon dude and Titan was being threatened by Metal Jaw or whatever his name is, the old Asian dude, and then Titan was like, Invincible, I need your help, this, that, and the third, and Invincible wasn't gonna help him, and then he went to go to the guy that he stole his position from in jail, and he was like, "Bro, you think I'm gonna help you? I'm gonna let that old dude rip you apart and shit like that."
Mm.
Yeah,
I necessarily I gotta look back on that one. I necessarily don't remember that part,
yeah.
but
Machine Head's
oh,
in another season, but like they just revisit him in this season.
okay. But I'm about to say, was he important in this season?
No,
Nah, he
no,
was
that's what
just
I
you
was
said.
saying. He wasn't really important. It's just I like that character. He's got the Robo voice.
Mm.
I like the ending with
Oh,
Rex's funeral too.
oh, yes, he was more in season two,
I think
right?
so. I
I
think
think
so. Because he runs like that mafia organization until
he was
Titan
running the mafia with the
pulled
other guy.
the rug from underneath him with his lackey.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. All right, bet. I'm up to date. I'm up to speed now. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So I enjoy that character for some reason because he just be talking hella shit. Like he just talks mad shit.
um
But I guess we getting more. What else is there? Like the conquest fight we talked about a little bit. Yo, bro. But honestly, when Mark was whooping that ass and like he broke the wrist and then the leg got snapped and my man was running around on one leg and one arm, I thought the art was just so good at that point, bro. The art for the animation for the last two episodes was just booming because it was not booming the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then the fight sequences definitely stepped up 100% too. Like they went sick. Like the other fights were cool too. It was more so just a lot of destruction. You know what I'm trying to say? Every fight with Mark was a little turned up though, but the fight with Conquest and him, yeah. The you had mentioned earlier him ripping through the world. That was fire. The nigga Conquest was just doing him dirty.
Like,
And Mark had his moments. Mark had the moments, but he was doing him dirty,
but he was
man. He was
basically
doing.
remember he said like, "Ooh, this is like playing with new toys for me."
And yeah, he was basically destroying the world, like just with Mark, like with his actual body. Like he was
Oh, I said it
literally,
to somebody. I was like, Mark makes a better weapon, like does more damage as a weapon than he does as an actual fighter.
and it's crazy because Nolan did that and Conquest did that. They took Mark and used his body to like fuck up geolog like the fucking Earth. Like they fucked up, like crazy,
And
bro.
he's still living because he's invincible.
Yep. Fire.
Side note, before I get back to Conquest, I did like the story with Rudy taking on Rex's name at the funeral to pay respect to Rex because that ties into
Um.
something that happens in season 2. Rudy is robot.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
ties
if you
into.
go back to season 2, when Mark and Angstrom got pulled into that void area, and then Mark saw he was just stuck there, and then that future Adam Eve popped up with the future Guardians of the Globe, and they saved Mark. Remember, she sees robots behind him, but she refers to him as Rex because you think it's Rex Explode in robot suit because he's got the hair like Rex, the look like Rex. But think about it, it's really Rudy who's just living through the name of Rex because Rex died.
Right. Yeah, he was already dead by then. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes that whole scene make way more sense because I know everybody who was like really paying attention was like, Rex, what the fuck? That's a robot. Like that's Rudy, is it not? But why is Rex in
Yeah.
a robot suit?
Yeah. Nah, you said that. You said that. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes it. It connects it. Yeah, you're right about that.
Because now Rudy's name is Rex.
Right. Yep.
But to go back to Conquest, I think the coldest moment of the season is when he has Mark pinned to the ground and he's like, I'm so lonely. And he hits him with that whole speech about how the Viltrumites are scared of him and he's a victim of his own success. He was like, think about it. Because I really had to think about it when he said this. I don't even get a real name. I just get a purpose. And I was like, oh, my boy is spitting right now. Because, like, think about it. These dudes do got real names. They got Thrag, they got Anissa, they got Nolan, they got Mark. All these motherfuckers we've met so far have actual names. Conquest is literally a thing you go do. That's an action. Like, and that's what he's named after. He don't even got a real name. I would love to see a storyline of Conquest's history. And this dude's like 8,000 years old. Like, so I would love to see the history of Conquest. And why is he so
Definitely.
feared? Like, you're all Viltrumites and you're scared of Conquest, bro? Like, apparently the lead Viltrumite Thrag is bigger, badder than Conquest, but y'all are scared of Conquest?
You said he's 8,000 years old.
Some shit like that. He is super old, bro. Like, you gotta remember, Viltrumites live mad long. Nolan even said it to him. He was like, why do you care about these humans that you're gonna so far outlive, bro? Like, these guys are a fraction of your life. These people you care about right now will only be like 2% of your life, Mark. So these dudes be ancient.
Yeah,
These dudes be
that's
ancient as
that's a,
fuck.
that's a little crazy. That's a little. I ain't think he was that old. That's a little fucking. That's crazy. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild.
I know, it's crazy. I think the
Now,
only thing we
now I would like to see his part too, nigga. I would like to see what the fuck made him get so
yeah, like,
fucking.
one, what did you start out as? And two, when's the point that what is the thing you did that made all the Viltrumites scared of you? You're not even the strongest dude out there, but like, what made them scared of you? But that's for hopefully somewhere down the line. Hopefully we do get that, because I don't think the comics ever touch on that. But maybe that's something we get different outside of the comics, or maybe we get like an episode that's like the Adam Eve episode for Conquest, because the character's interesting after that speech he gave Mark, and then he got his ass whooped. So whatever. But the only thing I can think of that we didn't touch on that's really cool outside of the very ending of the show is Alan the Alien, aka, I think, right, Seth Rogen, if I'm not mistaken, Alan the Alien, and Nolan on the ship, and then unleashing Battle Beast and getting into that fight with those two other Viltrumites. That boy Battle Beast, I love seeing him on the screen.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
He
I
said,
like that. I like
"Bring
that.
me
We
stronger
did get
opponents."
that. We did talk about. We did talk about that. I thought we did. I thought we
Nah,
did
you
touch
brought that
about
up
that.
earlier before I think we started recording, or maybe at the very beginning, and you just asked if they where were they, and I was like, they were there. You're just forgetting that we talked about them during this season because so much was going on, and that was so cool to see them working together. Like, obviously, Battle Beast ain't working with them, but Nolan and Alan the Alien working together, and Alan showing a lot. I mean, not Alan. Nolan showing a lot of sympathy, and he, like, in the words of Nolan, he a weak motherfucker now. Like, because he is showing a lot of emotion and care for other
Compared
people.
to other victimites, shit, he looking like it.
But I'm not gonna
But
lie. But is that
he,
is that something that realistically makes him stronger than other Viltrumites?
I made him shit. It made him stronger than Conquest. I tell you that. Because the way that nigga Conquest kind of leaned in and whispered that shit in Mark's ear, he
I
really
don't
needed
know, man.
to
Because
release
you got to remember, Mark did a lot of training throughout the last two seasons, and he's up there in power. And I don't know what Nolan's been up to other than having kids with some ant-looking chick, but and
You
being in
think Mark is
jail,
fucking up Nolan right now?
huh?
You think Mark is fucking up Nolan right now?
I don't know if I'm gonna say fucking up Nolan, but is he getting fucked up like he did in season one? Hell the fuck no. Especially because bro be blacking out nowadays. Hell the fuck no. That'd be a way closer fight than what it was. Because remember, they was talking about how powerful people are and all these marks, and they were like, yo, we're pretty sure our mark is still the strongest of these marks. Like,
I think the way that the shit go, I think the Beast may be the strongest, and I think Allen may be next, and then I think the Viltrumites may be after.
I question Battle Beast a lot in his strength. I think he just has an unwavering bloodlust, and that's kind of what makes him seem a lot cooler than one. Because remember, when he fucked up people on Earth, Mark, that was also season one, and Mark was not out there really trying to be body and shit like that. He didn't know what he could really do. He wasn't training like that. So, like, Battle Beast is up there in strength, but I don't know if he's as top dog as like you're thinking right now. Nolan might
Yeah.
fold that motherfucker. Conquest might fold that motherfucker. The top dude Thrag is probably definitely folding that motherfucker. So Battle Beast is cool amongst the world. He's probably like top 10. I say that. He's probably top 10 of what we know right now. Did that whole dude Tech Jacket that took out a mark by himself, bro? Like, what? The dude in space that like zapped a mark?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was fire.
Like,
I
he's
remember I
got to
was
be
trying
up.
to.
That guy got to be up there.
A bunch of them took out a couple
Oh,
marks.
and I
Like,
don't. And I almost don't think Rex stays dead. They didn't show the death like they do, like how we always say, if you don't see the body and shit,
I mean,
we'll find some weird way. It's invincible.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the way this nigga lived and his head looked, I'm pretty sure Rex can live.
Yeah,
He can live.
he reached into his whole body and said, "Yo, I can make every bone in my body blow up."
He did some famous shit. I know that was crazy.
Yeah. Um. So I was very into that battle beast and all that stuff, especially when he like, "Yo, bro, you ain't giving me nobody strong, and the only strong person I can sense right now is you, stupid ass alien." And Alan's like, "No, chill, bro. Like we're close. Don't worry." But to wrap this up, kind of the ending of this episode, this season, seeing that season, like, see, this is one of those reasons why I almost agree with Mark in feeling the way he feels. It's because this motherfucker has Conquest in a fucking box, bro. Do we think that's smart?
Yeah, that was gonna be my last note of it too. He's stupid.
Oh yeah, so now Cecil's stupid.
Yeah, he's stupid for that. Yeah. You know what else I think Cecil's stupid for? For killing those other two heroes in his flashback. In his flashback when the nigga why he got sent to jail.
But remember, they brought him back to life, and that's why he does what he does now, is because he knows that's a possibility. He didn't know they were heroes then; they were villains.
It's just his initial reaction. I think it was just stupid. I thought that was stupid too. But yeah, nah, him keeping Conquest, that's just dumb, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and realistically, if you want to look at it like that, because you brought that episode up, Cecil is on. Mark is going through what Cecil went through at that very moment. So, like, basically, Cecil's trying to teach him the same lesson that he had to learn back when he was young. Like, you were hurt, you were damaged, you felt like you couldn't trust anybody, but sometimes it's just for the best. It's like Nick Fury or some shit like that. Like sometimes you just gotta let the shit happen, and you might not see why it's going the way it is. You gotta trust the process sometimes, my boy. And if it goes wrong, we stick together as a team.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Just like when he had to go to jail and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just like when he had to go to jail and all that. Basically Mark had to go through the same thing. Even though Cecil kind of beat Mark up way more than his CO or his OG did to him,
But
but
also it's because
I
Mark
guess
is a
Mark is a
fucking
different
freak of
caliber anyway.
nature.
Mark is Mark, so he's a different
Yeah, so
caliber
it
anyway.
makes sense why Cecil's taking these steps. So like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cecil's a character that you want to disagree with, but you see why he does what he does. It's almost like the Tony Stark in MCU when he's like, we got to build a suit of armor around the world, but it eventually leads to Ultron. Like the steps that he takes is meant to protect the world, but it puts the world at catastrophe's doorstep if the wrong thing happens. And like Conquest is about to be Ultron, bro. Cecil thinks he's doing his thing and it's about to blow up in his face. Because like, bro,
it's about to be a rap.
If you see what these motherfuckers are doing to the Earth and these other planets and each other, and you think this little box you got is about to hold him when he comes, he doesn't know how easily these guys recover and stuff like that. I would assume because he didn't see like the whole fight on that planet where Mark and Nolan were fighting the other Viltrumites. But these motherfuckers be coming back from like getting impaled and shit like that. Never mind people like Angstrom coming back from the shit they be coming back from. The Viltrumites be doing this shit for sure, for sure. So Conquest is not gone because his face is mushed up, bro.
They said it in that episode, I think. They said his face is already healing.
They need to, cause remember, that's why he has him locked up like that, because he's figuring out that he's gonna talk to Conquest, and he's gonna tell me all the weaknesses of the Viltrumite and shit like that. Like, why you think you got it like that? He's gonna laugh at you. He's gonna laugh at you. Like you a little. I think Cecil's a little too confident because his little robots beat up 2 marks.
Cecil might die in the first episode where he trying to talk to Conquest and that shit blow up and Cecil's gonna die and Conquest's gonna survive.
Take that forehead right off, bro. One slap. One slap. You ain't Oliver, Cecil. You will die. But do you have any predictions for the future?
What happened?
Do you have any predictions for the future? I don't really have anything that I hypothesize or anything like that. Other than like me thinking that Rex will come back at some point. And obviously Conquest is gonna start fucking shit up again, and it's probably gonna be really fucking. It'd probably be like the first 2 episodes. Honestly, don't even be surprised.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I don't have No, I do not because like I started off, this was like very. I feel like the side stories kind of overtook this, and they were very good stories. They were very good stories. We went through them, and but I don't know where they're gonna take it. I don't know how much of the Viltrumite story they're gonna give me. I don't know what other side stories and other little things they're gonna give me because I can't say. All the thing I can really say is I predict that Alan and Nolan is gonna get there. They're gonna have some type of fight. I feel like Alan is gonna end up not dying, but probably getting.
Yeah, but he's basically a Viltrumite also, and actually he's probably a little better than a Viltrumite because remember he was like fused with Viltrumite blood or some shit. So
I'm
now
about
he
to say, yeah,
basically
he's
regenerates faster than they do.
yeah, he's kind of stronger. I feel like Alan's gonna get into something, like something with conquest. I feel like he's gonna take him out. Like honestly, I feel like he's gonna take him out.
Oh yeah, and then
Cause
they
remember,
found Battle Beast just floating in the middle of space
and then he found Battle Beast floating in the middle of it.
in
So
the
I feel
fetal
like
position.
yeah, that's gonna be something. This nigga Langstrom is still alive. He's now serving these people with a mechanical arm and shit
Which
now.
are
And
probably
then
going to
we
be the
still have
biggest bad guys of the whole show. They're probably going to be the biggest threat of the whole show, the technicians.
yeah, they probably are. They probably are. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that being some underhand shit. The other marks, I can see them coming up. But besides that, yeah, what I'm saying, regular shit. Mark getting stronger. Adam, Eve. Eve, we probably see more Eve power. You know what I'm saying? As it grow, we probably see her control more of that power. Because remember she said that shit is blocked somewhere.
Yeah,
I
but it's
think she
still
probably
blocked. It's blocked until she's at that state of death and stuff like that. It's basically the Phoenix Force. That's how I just look at it. Like Jean Grey don't do, like I mean at a point she learns how to control the Phoenix Force, but typically before she learns how to control it, or because I don't know how I really want to explain her story since I watched the Adam Eve special, but hers just triggers when it's fight or flight mode for her. That don't just trigger because she wants it to trigger.
right.
So I don't know how
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go, and I think it's better to keep it that way for her. Because if she's just able to do that all the time, like now the show is like pointless. Because like now her and
Yeah.
Mark just run
Like
through
I didn't
everybody.
expect it. I thought Eve was dead, so I didn't expect it to kick in. I thought
Okay,
she was dead. So we rating it. I'm gonna get this. Are we rating this?
yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay, I'm gonna give it yeah, I'm gonna give it the same thing. 8 out of 10. Even though it felt like kind of everywhere for me, I still enjoyed it and it still held me. And every little story they gave me was pretty fucking dope. Um, Animation was pretty cool. Plot for what it for what
They
I
do a
understood
really
it.
good job of handling a show that has a lot of characters that we like spend a good amount of time. I'm not even gonna say decent. We spend a good amount of time with a good amount of characters, and they do a good job with all of
Yeah, yeah.
it. Like
So
it,
8 out of 10.
like think about it. While it's all over the place, it's still controlled. It don't feel like they're just being messy.
And that's why they get an 8 out of 10. Exactly, because I was still able to enjoy it. I was still able to rock with it. Still able to follow it. Like I said, it was just a bunch of side stories instead of the Viltrumite. But as you said, according is going to the comic, so at least it's comic book accurate, and that's another reason why they get an 8 out of 10 because it's comic book accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
Keeping it
differences,
to
but it's pretty much on point. Um, and actually, thing that they've been talking about on the internet is this last episode got one of the highest ratings of a TV show episode. I think one show has ever gotten like a 10 out of 10 episode. Like I don't know if it's like in recent years or ever, but this is like a 9.9 out of 10, the final episode rating, like for like those weird websites and shit like that. So yeah, this show has been doing its job, man. They I don't even want to say they're getting better every season because it's like such a small increase. But boy, is this show just consistent? Like it's just good.
yeah, I wouldn't even say it's getting better. I just say it's just very consistent since day one.
Yeah, like the
Like
stakes
since
raise.
day
I'll
one.
say that the show stays consistent, but the stakes raise for sure every season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The plot definitely thickens. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
man. Hey, Invincible, keep the plot thickening. Yeah, the bad, yeah, Invincible, so back that ass up.
Like,
You a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up?
I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, what?
And my brain was so trying to think about how I could mix in Invincible with the song, and so I just started mumbling shit. And that's the N.E.O. episode, whatever. We didn't even talk about the episode number. What, 21?
Oh yeah, episode 21.
I think so, right? I think so. If I'm wrong there, guess what? We're non-experts, and the title on YouTube will have the right number.
I'm gonna say episode 22, just in case. So if it is episode 22, you can take that and you can cut it out.
He gave us a range to play with. I like that. But that is that. We'll catch you on the next one. And if you fuck with us, hit that like button.